been a detective investigating heinous cookie thieves for many years. It's always this time of year when these crimes pick up. Maybe because the holidays make everyone a little crazy, but one thing for sure, sweet tooths are on the rise and now I have another case to solve. My name is Candy Sweets, lead detective on the Confection Robbery Squad, and this is a case that still has me scratching my head.
Let me be sure I have this straight. You say you turned your back, the lights went out, and the cookies were gone.
Yes, I don't know how it could have happened. I didn't see or hear anything.
Who was in the house at the time?
My 3 grandchildren, but I can't imagine that they would have done it. I didn't hear anybody.
I need to talk to them alone.
I lined up the 3 possible suspects, and as I watched their faces carefully, I explained to them they were the only possible suspects. I knew one of them was guilty. It was just a matter of which one. I knew I would have to crack this case to save this family, but which one was the thief? I paced as I asked questions, and none of the suspects' answers seemed, well, suspect. They all seemed like loving, caring people who would not steal from their grandma, but something didn't add up. I informed the suspects I would have to search them. The oldest volunteered to go first, insisting she had nothing to hide. As I searched her, I noticed some crumbs in her pocket. I backed up and made a note in my notebook. After close examination, I was certain the spot on Suspect 2's jacket was chocolate, fresh chocolate from a freshly baked cookie. The spot was still soft, so I was certain I had found my thief. But what about the crumbs in the first suspect's pocket? I started to think maybe I was dealing with a far more complicated cookie crime. I had to search Suspect 3 next and hope that one of these seemingly nice kids was innocent for the baker's sake. As I searched Suspect 3, I noticed a glistening like the sheen butter from baked cookies leaves on your fingers. However, unless he had just held the evidence, it couldn't be butter residue. I couldn't find any sign of a cookie in his possession. There just had to be some other explanation. I began to doubt my investigative skills. Maybe after so many cases, I saw cookie thieves in everyone. Perhaps they were all innocent, but I knew that wasn't the case. So in the end, I knew the suspects were caring people, and I had a hunch they would confess.
Well, ma'am, I just can't point my finger at one of them.
Well, I just don't understand how that plate of cookies disappeared. I guess I'll just have to bake some more.
We did it! Your cookies are the best and we couldn't resist. Right before the lights went out, we were coming up to see what smelled so good.
And your back was turned, and I guess you didn't hear us ask.
So we each grabbed a few, and the lights went out, and we went to see what.
We didn't notice we took them all.
We're
sorry.
As I left the house that afternoon, I was still thinking about the crumbs and the soft chocolate spot on the jacket and the butter on the hands and wondering where that last bit of evidence went. As I put my notebook back in my pocket, I felt something that hadn't been there before. I brought it up to my face and discovered it was the evidence, and as I smiled and took a bite, I realized the kids were right. It was one of the best pieces of evidence I had ever ate.